Epic.
Absolutely. Let's keep it rolling, guys. And a Game 7 on the road with their back
Well, they were
against
playing the music. I like the music. I like the music they were playing. Yeah.
Stephen Curry erupted for 50 points on 20 of 38 shooting, the most points ever scored in a Game 7 in league history. He scored 17 in the fourth. They'll now face the Lakers in the conference semifinals, with Game 1 being played on Tuesday at the Chase Center. And now we get LeBron James versus Steph Curry. Yes, sir. Here's Draymond on the greatness in this series.
What I will say is, stop trying to turn the page on us so fast. Stop trying to turn the page on Bron so fast. We get so caught up in what's the next thing that we don't appreciate the current. And then you get to the next thing and looking back like, man, I wish we still had that. I wish we could still see this. So for me and our guys, we're going to appreciate this every step of the way.
LeBron James and Stephen Curry face off yet again in a battle between two of the top 75 players of all time. Both players aren't even 10-10 in the regular season. However, it's Curry who has the edge over LeBron in the postseason with a 15-7 record in postseason games. Stephen A., do the Lakers or the Warriors have the edge in this one?
I believe it's the Warriors. I believe it's the Warriors because, number one, they have home court advantage. And they have the babyface assassin, the greatest shooter God has ever created. And I think the combination of those two things spells trouble for the Los Angeles Lakers. That's not the only thing, though, just to set the record straight. You know, did you know that LeBron James against Steph Curry is averaging more points, more rebounds, and more assists with a better shooting percentage from the field than Steph Curry? That's actually true. Now, Steph Curry obviously shoots better from three-point range. But LeBron James has him beat in all of those numbers. But he doesn't have him beat in titles because Steph has outscored them 3-1 in their 4 NBA Finals matchups. And obviously, he's got him beaten in scoring titles because Steph's got 2 and LeBron's got 1. Here's the deal. When I look at LeBron, I'm thinking about yesterday, and I'm watching this game. And as I stated on national television, there were 2 LeBrons watching the game. One was, damn, this is beautiful. I love this. I'm watching this game. And as I stated on national television, there were 2 LeBrons watching the game. One was, damn, this is beautiful. I love this. I'm going up against this brother right here. It's going to be epic. I love the competition. I'm one of the greatest ever. He's one of the greatest ever. Let's get it on. I can't wait. That LeBron. And then there was the other LeBron that was like, damn. I thought I was going to the conference finals, and now this brother's standing in my way. Because I believe they would have beat Sacramento. Lakers would have beat Sacramento because I think LeBron's experience, his brilliance as a basketball savant, I thought he would have exploited the youth of the Sacramento Kings, and they would have slowed up pace if he were going against them. You don't get to do that against the Golden State Warriors. And oh, by the way, that dude Draymond Green, let me tell you something right now. Watch Draymond Green when he's defending Perk, because you alluded to his greatness as a defender the other day. There's a different Draymond Green that's defending legs and Perk when he's off the ball as opposed to when he has to accept the challenge of manning up and defending somebody straight up, like Anthony Davis looking to score the ball and the offense running through him, and Draymond is defending that guy as opposed to somebody that's not a primary offensive option, okay? I think that's going to be interesting as well. But in the end, their efficiency, their experience, their perimeter shooting, the coaching, I think that whether against Sacramento, you slow the pace, you good. And you use Anthony Davis' size against Sabonis. Against the Golden State Warriors, it's an entirely different animal. It don't matter whether they running or walking. At the end of the day, they got Steph. And I would say the Splash Brothers, but I'm mad at Klay Thompson today because of the way he shot yesterday. That was just ridiculous. This is a Game 7. You don't shoot 1 for 10 in the first half. That is blasphemy. Just blasphemy. He made up for it with the 4-point play. But I'm just saying, you got to make shots, okay? So I'm mad at him today. I ain't going to bring him up today. I'll celebrate him tomorrow. But they got Steph, and that's all it's going to take. Warriors win this series.
Here we go again. I tried to warn you about the Lakers' last series against the Grizzlies when I came on here. Now I got to come on here and remind you on who the hell they are right now. What you fixing your face for? You picked Memphis last series. You picked
So what?
You picked them.
So what?
Excuse
me.
So what?
In a second, Morant got hurt. I was like, oh well.
But he came back. But I told you anyway that they were going to beat them. That's number one. But number two, let me talk to you about what I've saw between both series when it comes down to the Lakers and Memphis and what I saw out of Sacramento and Golden State. First of all, I'm giving the edge to the Los Angeles Lakers because, again, defense wins championships. And when I look at the Lakers' defense, they're second in defensive ratings. They're number one in defensive rebounding. And they're number one in blocks. And why I bring up the blocks and the rebounds is because when you look at the Sacramento series, the key and the unsung hero in that series was Kevon Looney in the way that he dominated the boards. Well, now all of a sudden, you're going against a front line in LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, who these guys are 6'9" and above. So it's not going to be a problem for the Lakers rebounding. It's also not going to change knowing what he have to do against Steph Curry. And why did I say that? Because LeBron James is an extension of Darvin Ham. And what I watched last night was Mike Brown has done a hell of a job. I'm not even shooting a jab at him. But at some point, you have to say, Steph got it going. I don't give a damn. I'm going to trap him. I'm going to trap him aggressively until he get the ball out of his hands. The Lakers are going to do that. The Lakers are not going to let Steph just beat them. The Lakers are going to use their brain and their psyche to go and do what they need to do. And by the way, the disrespect that Kevon Looney and Draymond was doing to Sabonis, they better not be sagging off in the paint. They better not be giving Anthony Davis 15-footers. And yes, I did praise Draymond Green. To wrap it up real quick, I did praise Draymond about his defense, and rightfully so. But you know who else I need to praise? Anthony Davis. You was at the game the other night. You seeing how he embracing the center role. You watching how he's anchoring that defense and throwing everything into the second row of the Crypto.com
26
arena.
blocks.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing, and he's doing what we've been wanting him to do for so long, and that's being a dominant force on the defensive end. So when I look at D'Angelo Russell and I look at Austin Reeves, I'm looking at the Lakers and I'm saying they actually got the offensive firepower to go back at them. So I do give the Lakers the edge in this series. And by the way, LeBron is going to destroy Andrew Wiggins.
All right, well, okay. You put that out there at the end. I like it. Listen, I picked both of these teams to win their series, so I expected this to be the matchup that we were going to see. Here's why the series will be decided on the Lakers' defensive end of the floor. I completely agree with that, but they're going to have a difficulty doing what you're saying, Perk, and here's why. You can't compare what they're about to see defensively with what they just defended in the last series. Here's why. Memphis is a team that you can pretty much predict one of three things is going to happen on this trip up the floor. That's all you got to worry about. Ja on a high ball screen, getting downhill, turning the corner. Okay, so you're going to wall up. We know that going into that series. That's obviously option one. You've got to make sure you contain Ja Morant at the point of attack and not let him gut you at the rim. Then it's either going to be some post-ups occasionally for Jaren Jackson Jr. or some screen action off the ball for Desmond Bane to try to get him free to get looks. That's not what this is going to be. This is going to be a team that relies so much on forcing you to communicate off the ball screens that they know eventually you will make a mistake on. And that's why this is just different. They're a one-off in the way that they play, their style, the weapons they have. Steph Curry is the hardest player in the NBA to say, we're going to force the ball out of his hands and force him to give it up. It's just too hard to do because the guy runs so much without the basketball. And when he gets it, if you say, okay, let's blitz him on ball screens, go ahead, blitz him on ball screens. This is exactly how they won their first title. And Steph Curry's willing to give the ball up to Draymond Green in the middle of the floor after that trap and now go attack and play 4-on-3 on the weak side with weapons. He's the hardest guy in the league to come up with a proper defensive scheme to get the ball out of his hands because he can play 5-6 minutes straight without taking a shot and create so much offense for everybody else on the floor. So I think the Warriors not only have the edge, I think they're going to win this series, and there's not going to be any situation they're going to find themselves in at any point that they know they can't dig out of. Any deficit, any run they get hit with, they've got the firepower to erase double-digit deficits in a very short period of time. So, to me, it's about the Warriors' offense winning that battle against the Lakers' defense. Now, look, I have one caveat to all of this, and you guys have each mentioned Anthony Davis. Here's the caveat. If Anthony Davis is the best player in this series, then the Lakers are going to win the series. He has to be, though. He has to be the best player in the series. And I mean even better than LeBron James. He has to be better than Steph Curry, better than Klay Thompson, better than anybody. That's the Lakers' shot. Is he capable? Yes. Are you willing to go lay money on it that he will be? I am not, and that's why I think the Warriors are going to advance and get to the conference finals.
Go ahead, Kendrick Perkins. I'll follow up after you real quick. Go ahead.
So Legs, I knew you was going to come with that. I just want to ask you, when the Warriors won their first title, who was the finals MVP?
Hey, Perk, hold on. Let me answer that because let me answer it first. You asked the question. Let me answer it. I know, obviously, it was Andre Iguodala, but let me tell you something right now. That was an absolute crime that Steph Curry was not the finals MVP because the whole series was based on him getting trapped and letting everybody else play free and take uncontested shots. I hear you.
But Legs, I wasn't even going to that point about who should have won it. I asked you that question because I actually was on that sideline on the Cavs bench, and you just brought up and you just alluded to that he was getting trapped. And that was a LeBron James team. So when I tell you that LeBron James actually have the recipe on knowing how to trap him, being under Ty Lue, by the way, one of the assistant coaches that's over there under Damon Jones, who was actually on that bench, you don't think they're going to bring that into the locker room? You don't think that they're smart enough to adjust and to know? It's a reason that Andre Iguodala had those shots.
They lost that series.
Oh, my God.
They lost that series.
I understand
they 1-3,
Perk. Andre Iguodala had to make shots. Just relax. I understand they won the series. I'm not talking about that. I'm alluding to the point where Legs was saying about the offense and the trapping. Follow me here. We're going to a whole nother direction.
You can't effectively trap him because they'll beat you if you do that. That's what I'm saying. You can't effectively trap. You can make any player give the ball up. What I'm saying is they beat you because of that.
This is what I'm saying. Last night, what I'm saying is that we watched Klay Thompson, didn't have it going. Jordan Poole didn't give them nothing, meaning that 50 ball that Steph had to drop last night, they needed every bit of it. And so what I'm telling you is that if you go against a team that says, hey, I'm going to make somebody else beat us, then they're going to have to rely on Andrew Wiggins and Draymond Green to be an offensive threat. All I'm telling you guys is that I strongly believe that the Lakers are not going to go in and just let Steph go one-on-one. They will be a fool to do that. That's all I'm saying to this point.
Okay, and are we allowed to sit up there and say Klay Thompson ain't going to go 1 for 10 in the first half another game? Are we allowed to surmise that one of the top 5 shooters in the history of basketball ain't going to wet the bed like he did in Game 7 yesterday? Are we allowed to assume that Andrew Wiggins ain't going to look like he's allergic to prosperity, for crying out loud, turning over the damn ball at every turn and missing shots that he normally makes? Are we just allowed to surmise that a Jordan Poole, who got a $140 million deal, he got his bag, ain't going to look like straight garbage for a Game 6 and a 7? Can we not assume that, guess what? What we saw for a couple of games might not be the case in the upcoming series? How is it that you get to talk about what LeBron James ain't going to allow? And I'm saying, how are you? I'm saying, how are you?
You turning red.
I'm fine. Actually, that's not me. I'm perfectly fine. I'm just saying. Exactly.
We don't want
exactly.
space
You don't want looking
matching
upset at everybody for sitting up there and disagreeing with you, like you ready to beat us up.
I mean,
you know good and well. You know good and well. Can you trust D'Angelo Russell? Can you trust him? Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm just saying. Did we
I'm
know he
asking
was
the
going to
question.
do what he did? He did it.
I'm asking the question.
He did it.
Okay.
He did it.
One game.
He did it.
I'm
Okay,
asking.
it
Do you
was a
trust
meaningful
him?
Stephen A.
game.
Smith.
Do you trust him? That's what I asked you. I didn't ask you about the one game. Do you trust him? Over the course of a 7-game series against Steph, Clay, Jordan Poole, and the crew. Do you trust D'Angelo Russell?
I trust Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
Oh, Lord. All right, all right.
Coming up.
Kendrick
Hey, listen,
Perkins,
hey, listen.
he gets
Deion
my vote.
Sanders
Kendrick
not
Perkins is running
happy
for
with the
office.
NFL
He's running
after
for
this
office.
weekend's